Next on BGSU Brain Game, it is Lake versus Ottawa Hills. You better buckle up for a monstrous mental meltdown. Only one team can leave victorious. Who is it going to be? Only one way to find out. BGSU's Brain Game starts right now. And welcome to BGSU's Brain Game. It is Lake versus Ottawa Hills. Let's meet our team. Starting off with Lake, tell us who you are.
I'm Caleb Herman, a senior.
To your left.
This is Brian Zhang.
And to your right.
This is Zachary Bushman.
And coached by?
Ms. Bizzoli.
All right, Ottawa Hills, tell us who you are.
I'm Thomas Franklin, and I'm a junior. To my left is Alex Mian, he's also a junior. And to my right is Ali Sadiq, and he's a sophomore.
And you're coached by?
We're coached by Tony P. Torrio.
All right, welcome to both of our teams. Going to start things off as we always do with our toss-up round. No deduction for an incorrect answer. You have 10 questions in this round. You may confer before buzzing in, not after. That's considered bad. And you can steal a question. I repeat, you can steal a question in this round. All right, Lake, Ottawa Hills, you ready to get the show started? All right, here we go. Which type of blood test with the acronym PT is used to determine how long it takes one's blood to clot? That would be Lake. Caleb.
Plasma test?
Incorrect. Ottawa Hills, would you like to steal? That would be Alex.
Platelet?
Incorrect. Prothrombin time is what we needed there. Which Atlantic island nation can boast that its economy is shored up heavily by sheep, which outnumber people on the island? That would be Lake. Caleb.
Faroe Islands?
Incorrect. On the island by a ratio of 4-1. Ottawa Hills, would you like to steal? That would be Ottawa Hills. Thomas.
Bermuda?
Incorrect. Iceland is what we were looking for there. Before a sculptor casts a piece of art, he will generally make a small model of the finished sculpture. What are these models called? That would be Lake. Caleb.
Prototype?
No, we cannot accept that. We need something specific here. That would be Ottawa Hills. Ali.
A scale model?
Incorrect. We needed specifically the term maquette there. Maquette. In the 2012 election, who was the Republican candidate for president? That would be Lake. Caleb.
Mitt Romney?
Correct. What is the name of the poem by Friedrich Schiller that Beethoven set to music in his 9th Symphony? That would be Ottawa Hills. Thomas.
Peter and the Wolf.
Incorrect. Lake, would you like to steal? They're saying no. Ode to Joy is what we needed there. With which Olympic sport would you associate the names Shannon Miller, Gabby Douglas, and Michaela? That would be Ottawa Hills. Ali.
Gymnastics?
Gymnastics is correct. Which chemical element's isotope 235 serves Ottawa Hills? Ali.
Uranium?
Uranium is correct. His early works included Women in an Armchair and Seated Bather. Identify this artist noted for his increasingly distorted surreal. That would be Ottawa Hills. Ali.
Picasso?
Picasso is correct. What is the value of the first score in tennis? That will be Lake. Zach.
15.
15 is correct. British author of Oliver Twist, and that would be Ottawa Hills. Ali.
Dickens?
Dickens is correct. That is all 10 questions in this round. We have a very, very close competition. Lake at 20 points, Ottawa Hills at 40 points. Coming up next is our risk and reward round. Stay tuned. And welcome back to BGSU's Brain Game. After the first round, we have a pretty close competition. We have Lake at 20 points, but currently in the lead with 40 points is Ottawa Hills. Both of our teams have elected to stay with their lineup from the last round, so we are moving directly into our risk and reward round. This is how it goes, teams. Both teams will receive the same 9 questions. They are worth 10 points apiece, no deduction for an incorrect answer. The 10th question is the risk and reward question. We will give you a topic. You will then have the option of risking up to 30 points in 5-point increments on that topic question, but you will lose those points with an incorrect answer, but you may also elect to pass. Okay, Ottawa Hills, you are at 40 points, meaning you will be sticking around. Lake, that means you're off to isolation. All right, Ottawa Hills, are you ready for your risk and reward round? Yes, sir. Starts right now. Give the name of the process by which drones in a bee colony develop from unfertilized eggs. That would be Ottawa Hills. Thomas?
Parthenogenesis.
Correct. With regard to individual rights, for what does the acronym ACLU stand? That would be Ottawa Hills. Ali?
American Civil Liberties Union.
Correct. When that April with his showers sweet, the drought of March hath pierced to the root, is the open line of which early English work? That would be Ottawa Hills. Thomas?
Ode to the Seasons.
Incorrect. That is the prologue to the Canterbury Tales. As of 2021, which country is second behind the United States with the greatest number of operational nuclear power reactors? That would be Ottawa Hills. Alex?
Russia.
Incorrect. France. France is number 2. In the Middle Ages, which 4-letter noun was used to designate one of the peasant class who worked land belonging to a landowner? That would be Ottawa Hills. Ali?
Serf.
That is indeed a serf. How high or low a sound is perceived by the ear is known as which characteristic of sound? Ottawa Hills. Ali?
Pitch.
Pitch is correct. What type of erosion prevention tactic might be used by a farmer in order to prevent hillside erosion? In time? Nope. Technique known as terracing. Growth rings in trees would be most closely associated with which science? That would be Ottawa Hills. Thomas?
Arborism.
Incorrect. Dendrochronology is what we needed there. Including type and RH, which blood type is considered the universal donor? That would be Ottawa Hills. Alex?
O negative.
O negative is correct. This is your risk and reward question. The topic is grammar. You can risk up to 30 points in 5-point increments, or you may pass.
10?
Do 10.
10 points.
10 points on grammar for Ottawa Hills. Here is your risk and reward question. Grammar. In the sentence, Emmanuel loves to go fishing off the pier. As what part of speech does the infinitive phrase function? That would be Ottawa Hills. Thomas?
Adverb.
Incorrect. It is the direct object. Negative 10 points for you, and that finishes off the risk and reward round for you. It is now time for Ottawa Hills to head off to isolation. All right, let's bring back in Lake. Welcome back from isolation. Lake, are you ready for your risk and reward round? Starts right now. Give the name of the process by which drones in a bee colony develop from unfertilized eggs. Time. Parthenogenesis is what we needed there. With regard to individual rights, for what does the acronym ACLU stand? That will be Lake. Caleb.
American Civil Liberties Union.
Correct. When that April with his showers sweet, the drought of March hath pierced to the root, is the open line of which early English work.
April showers, spring May flowers. I don't know. That's the saying, isn't it?
It
was March.
Time. That is the prologue to the Canterbury Tales. As of 2021, which country is second behind the United States with the greatest number of operational nuclear power reactors? That would be Lake. Caleb.
Russia.
Incorrect. France. In the Middle Ages, which four-letter noun was used to designate one of the peasant class who worked land belonging to a landowner? That would be Lake. Caleb.
A serf.
A serf is what we were looking for there. How high or low a sound is perceived by the ear is known as which characteristic of sound? Lake. Caleb.
Frequency.
Incorrect. That is the pitch. What type of erosion prevention tactic might be used by a farmer in order to prevent hillside erosion? Time. That technique is terracing. Growth rings in trees would be most closely associated with which science? Lake. Caleb.
Ecology.
Incorrect. Dendrochronology is what we needed there. Including type and RH, which blood type is considered the universal donor? Lake. Caleb.
O negative.
O negative. But wouldn't you think a universal donor would be, oh, it's positive? But no, it's not. I'm sorry. Risk and reward time. Topic is grammar. Lake.
No,
What would you like to?
Passing on that
They're going to pass. All right. Can't even get it out. Lake is passing on that grammar question. All right. It is now time to, that's the end of the risk and reward round for you. Let's clear our score and let's bring back Ottawa Hills. Welcome back, Ottawa Hills. Let's reveal our scores to our players. Ottawa Hills went for the risk and reward question, went for 10 points as a matter of fact. Unfortunately got it wrong. They now stand at 80 points. Lake elected to pass on the risk and reward question. However, our judge says that we can accept frequency to the question that was the answer of pitch. So we will award you 10 points for that, and you now stand at 60 points. Only 20 points separate these two teams as we move to our category round where questions can be worth as much as 30 points. Stay tuned. And welcome back to BGSU Brain Game. Lake 60, Ottawa Hills 80 points as we move to our category round. In this round, the power shifts a little bit to our teams. They have 6 categories to choose from. Inside those categories are 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30-point questions. Deductions do start now, so if you go for 20, you are risking 20. However, there is one double or nothing question hiding in there somewhere. You may confer before buzzing in, and you can steal a question in this round. Lake, since you are at 60 points, you get to make the first selection.
We're going to go with begins with BE, 20.
Begins with BE for 20 points. Given a definition and part of speech, identify each word that begins with the letters BE. It's a noun. A bell tower attached to a church. That would be Ottawa Hills. Thomas.
A belfry.
Correct. Ottawa Hills in control.
World history 15, please.
World history for 15 points. It is near Cairo. In what Egyptian city would you find the Great Pyramids of Egypt? That would be Ottawa Hills. Ali.
Giza.
Giza is correct. Ottawa Hills in control.
World history for 20, please.
World history for 20 points. What country did King Louis XIV rule for over, that would be Ottawa Hills, Ali.
France.
Ruled France, yes.
Let's go world history for 25, please.
World history now for 25 points. Identify the 15th century Portuguese navigator who sailed around Africa's, that would be Lake. Caleb.
Magellan.
Incorrect. Africa's southern tip and reached India in 1498. You're electing not to steal. Ottawa Hills elects not to steal. Vasco da Gama is what we needed there. Ottawa Hills in control.
World history for 30, please.
World history for 30 points. He was beheaded by his father-in-law upon his return from his exploration of the Pearl Islands. Identify the conquistador who discovered the Pacific Ocean. That would be Ottawa Hills. Ali.
Vespucci.
Incorrect. Lake, would you like to steal? Time. Vasco Nunez de Balboa is what we needed there. Ottawa Hills in control.
10. World history for 10, please.
World history for 10 points. Only after a period of long training could one become a member of a craft guild in the Middle Ages. There are 3 steps through which a guildsman passed. Name the first. Lake. Caleb.
Apprentice.
Apprentice is correct. Lake takes back control.
I'll go with cells, 20.
Cells for 20 points. Name the organelle in a cell that is the site of protein synthesis. Ottawa Hills. Thomas.
Ribosome.
Ribosome is correct. Ottawa Hills takes back control.
Cell 25.
Cells now for 25 points. The cell has been called the primary unit of life. Name the organelle that makes proteins and is vital for cell respiration. Lake. Caleb.
Mitochondria.
Incorrect. Ottawa Hills, would you like to steal? Ottawa Hills is, they say no. Golgi apparatus is what we needed in that particular situation. Ottawa Hills in control.
Cells 30, please.
Cells for how many?
30.
30 points. This type of cell doesn't have a nucleus surrounded by, that will be Ottawa Hills. Alex.
Prokaryote.
That is correct. All right. Ottawa Hills in control.
Yeah, cells 15.
Cells for 15. This organelle helps to process and package proteins. That would be Ottawa Hills. Alex.
The Golgi.
Incorrect. Particularly proteins that are destined to be exported from the cell. Lake, would you like to steal?
Yeah, it's one of those reticulums.
Time. Mitochondria is what we needed there. Ottawa Hills in control.
Oh, we'll finish the cells category, please.
Cells now for 10 points. What cellular component gives a cell its shape? That would be Ottawa Hills. Thomas.
Cell membrane.
Incorrect. Lake, would you like to steal?
No, because that's plants. That's not.
Time. Cytoskeleton is what we were looking for there. Ottawa Hills in control.
We'll do art 20.
Art for 20 points. Many different cultures wear charms as a form of decoration to ward off evil. What are these charms collectively called? That would be Lake. Caleb.
Talismans.
We will accept that, yes. Lake in control.
Games, 20.
Games for 20 points. In billiards, what number is the black ball? That would be Ottawa Hills. Thomas.
8.
8 is correct. Ottawa Hills snatches back control.
Art 15, please.
Art for 15 points. What is the name of the oven used for drying? That would be Ottawa Hills. Thomas.
Kiln.
Kiln is correct. Ottawa Hills in control.
Art 10, please.
Art for 10 points. An artist who designs drawings or decorations that clarify or provide a visual image of a scene in a book's text is known as, that would be Lake. Caleb.
An illustrator.
An illustrator. Lake grabs control.
BE, 25.
Begins with BE for 25 points. It is a noun. Device for pumping air, especially to stoke. That would be Lake. Caleb.
Bellows.
Bellows is correct. Lake still in control.
BE, 30.
BE for 30 points. Verb, to promise to give in marriage. Lake. Caleb.
Betrothed.
Betroth is correct. Lake in control, making a move.
Games 25.
Games 425, end of round. Let's take a look at our score with a late surge by Lake. They are now at 105 points, but still in the lead with 165 points is Ottawa Hills. It all comes down to our brainstorm round, and that's coming up next. Stay tuned. And welcome back to BGSU Brain Game. After a late surge, Lake is now at 105 points within striking distance of Ottawa Hills at 165. It all comes down to 3 minutes of brainstorm to move on to the finals. Lake at 105, Ottawa Hills 165. Brainstorm round goes like this. All questions in this round are worth 20 points. Negative 20 points for an incorrect answer. You may confer before buzzing in, but there is no stealing. I repeat, no stealing in this round. We will move immediately to the next question. We are in a situation where we could end in a tie. If that happens, we will move immediately to some tiebreaker questions. The team must win with a correct answer. Lake, Ottawa Hills, are you ready for the brainstorm round? Starts right now. What is the capital of Monaco? Time, Monaco. In Egyptian mythology, what is the name of the live bull god that was worshipped at Memphis? Apis is what we needed there. Which Italian painter created the Mona Lisa? That would be Ottawa Hills. Ali.
Leonardo da Vinci.
Da Vinci is correct. Identify the chemical element whose atomic number is 17. Time, that would be chlorine. At which Midwestern city does the Mississippi River converge with the Great Lakes system? Time, that would be Chicago. While 5 black keys are included in a single octave on a piano keyboard, how many white keys are there? Lake, Brian.
8.
Incorrect, 7. Give the name for the arm of the Mediterranean Sea located between Italy and the Balkan Peninsula. That would be Ottawa Hills. Ali.
Aegean Sea.
Incorrect, Adriatic Sea. In the words foresight and forefather, what is the meaning of the prefix Lake? Caleb.
To be before.
Before or earlier. Yes. Name the 17-year-old character of The Catcher in the Rye who believed the world was full of phonies. Time. Holden Caulfield. With which father of psychoanalysis is the concept of free association? That would be Ottawa Hills. Thomas.
Freud.
Freud is correct. Which basic form of matter consists of molecules that have little or no ability? Lake. Caleb.
Solids.
Solids is correct. Which German leader served as both the head of the SS and as the Minister of the Interior during World War II? Lake. Caleb.
Goebbels.
Incorrect. Heinrich Himmler. Many ships use LORAN, L-O-R-A-N, as a navigation tool. For what does this acronym stand? It stands for long-range navigation. In the human body, what type of tissue connects muscle to bone? Ottawa Hills. Alex.
Adipose.
Incorrect. Tendons. End of round. Let's take a look at our score. Lake, 105 points, and our winner with 165 points is Ottawa Hills. Let's give both these teams a round of applause. In the spirit of good sportsmanship, let's meet in the middle, shake hands. We're going to see you at the next BGSU Brain Game.